years of experience building and scaling iconic brands. He is currently the CEO of Voodoo Donuts, where he's grown the company from 5 to 25 stores, entered 15 new markets, and lifted sales from $14 million a year to $75 million a year. Before Voodoo, he was part of the founding team at Mod Pizza, helping grow it from 1 store to more than 350 across the US and the UK. He also spent over a decade at Starbucks during its hyper-growth years, launching new markets and supporting its global expansion. He's been recognized as the CEO of the Year by the Portland Business Journal.
Ooh. Thank you.
He's also been named one of the most influential executives in the U.S. restaurant industry. He's known for his hands-on leadership style, focus on innovation, and building people-first cultures. Please welcome Chris Schultz.
Oh, I don't even. I'm good. Wow. I don't know who wrote that. I'm gonna have to sign him up. I'm not gonna use a microphone. I'm a restaurant guy. Microphones and me just don't go hand in hand. See ya. So I'm gonna talk about the upside of failure. So that's me. And I think he just spoke about that. I started Starbucks at 235 stores. I left there with 16,000 stores. I was there 14 years during their heyday. We'll talk a little about that and failure. Then I started Mod. I started Mod in 1 store in downtown Seattle. Joined them about 3 months before they opened the very first store and was there for 335 or so, including 10 in the UK. I'm now at Voodoo Donut. I'm the CEO. Who's been to Voodoo? Who knows Voodoo? Yeah, I know. That's easy. Who's Voodoo, right? I've been at Voodoo. I started at 5. We're at 25 today. We have another 5 to open this year. I'm kind of slacking, right? 16,000, 363, 25. I've kind of, I guess, laid back a little bit, maybe. I don't know. But we're growing. And if you know Voodoo, we're across, I think, 13 cities now in 6 states. So let's talk about failure. I love failure. And I know it's interesting. And Michael, thank you for inviting me. Thank you so much for inviting me. It's very nice. Sean and my friend Sean and Chelsea invited me to come speak. And I was like, what am I going to speak to a bunch of financial planners, real estate people? You know, what am I going to talk about? And I thought, let's talk about failure, right? Because we live in a world of failure. It's the most, I think in my world, it's the thing we dread the most. From when we are 5 years old to we are adults, we fear failure. We fear it. It's in every part of our life. When we were 5, we're gonna fail. What do we do if we fail? To when you met your partner, what do we do if we fail? To your business, what if I fail? I think it's the most strong emotion we feel. And it changes our life. Well, I'm gonna talk about failure. Because failure makes success. So failure. So these are some thoughts around failure that I've kind of put together, but let me tell you a quick story about failure. Does anyone know a product called Mazagran? Anybody? Of course you don't. So in the early 90s at Starbucks, we introduced a product called Mazagran. It was a carbonated coffee product, right? We introduced it. We rolled out in about 15 states. It failed. It was horrible, terrible. The worst product Starbucks ever rolled out. Terrible. But what it did was it introduced Starbucks to the fact that people wanted cold coffee in a bottle. Cold coffee in a bottle. And they said to themselves, wait a minute, they want it, they just don't want carbonated coffee. They just don't want it. That led to bottled Frappuccino. Right? So the reality was from failure came success. They realized what someone didn't want, so they tried to figure out what they wanted. right? And the reality for them was, at the end of the day, they were like, wait a minute, that's not what they want, but they like that. Let's try something different. Think about your world, right? When you have failures, do you look at it and say, well, that's just a failure? Or you're like, wait a minute, some people liked it. Let's see if we can tweak it. This is going to make something different. There are 3 things I live by. Do less. Do less. We try to do everything, and nothing works. Let me tell you about do less. Let me tell you a story about that. At Mod, when we started Mod, we tried to do everything. We sold customized pizzas. We sold handmade dips. We sold sides. We sold hand-spun shakes. It made sense till it didn't work. Complexity was terrible. The stores couldn't do it. Customers were confused. Who are you? What do you do? And at one point we pulled it back and said, let's go to our core competency. Let's go back to what we do really well, which is make customized individual pizzas. Immediately, sales spiked. Immediately, sales spiked. And customer service just exploded. Right? Constant movement is better than perfect. What's the word I wrote? And this is something, this is something to be honest with you, I've been thinking about. Constant progress is better than delayed perfection. Constant progress is better than delayed perfection. Right? Think about that. Sorry, I had to look at it because it's on my board in my office, and I look at it every day and I thought, wait a minute. But constant progress is better than delayed perfection. And we went back to the core of what we've done. And we're like, let's go back to the core. And immediately sales spiked. So what I put down here is removal of some things is better than doing everything. Addition by subtraction. And I think we all try to do everything for all of our customers. For you, you try to do everything. You try to be everything for everybody. Can you do this? Sure, I can. Can you? Can you do the same expertise that you could do the other thing? Sometimes it's okay to say, we just don't do that. There's somebody better at that than us. Let me introduce you to that person. But I think out of customer service, we're like, oh, we can cover that for you. And then you do it halfway. You need to do it well. And then it fails. And that customer looks at you and goes, it failed. Like, well, that's not what we really do. Well, you said you would. Think big. Holy cow. This one I love the best. Think big. Right? So big was, and I'll tell you a story about big. So at Mod, we were selling pizzas. We're selling customized pizzas, and we're selling pizzas, and we started to look at what we're doing. We started to hire second chance people that had troubles getting entry into the workforce. We're like, you know what? There's something bigger than just selling pizzas. There's something bigger. And we said, listen, we can be part of the community. And we went out and said to people, listen, this is what we do. This is who we are. There's something bigger than what we are. And I think sometimes if your vision doesn't scare you, it's probably too small. I think we all challenge ourselves. Safe keeps you small. Safe keeps you small. Safe is the thing that always challenges you. It will keep you small forever. Think big. What's the world got for you? Think big. Sorry if I'm a little loud, let me know. I get passionate. I love what I do. Execute flawlessly. Wow, this sounds like a oh duh. Of course, execute flawlessly. But let's talk about Starbucks. When I was at Starbucks, we were opening 3 stores a day worldwide for 3 straight years. It wasn't about the coffee. It wasn't about the coffee. They realized that every day they were there, we had to execute flawlessly, from the environment to the coffee, to the people. And for the longest time, all due respect to Starbucks today, all due respect, at a certain point in time in your career, whether you're in Tokyo, Miami, LA, Seattle, when you walked in the door, you knew what you were going to get. It was relentless commitment to executing flawlessly. In your world, are you committed to that? Are you like every single customer I talk to, every single client I talk to is execute flawlessly? Or there are times you're like, you know what? 90% is good enough. It's not. Because consistency and executing flawlessly tells stories. They tell stories about that. They don't tell stories about people that are 90%. They don't. I'm just telling you. Right? What's that story? Someone tells one person about a good experience, 10 people about a bad experience. It's true. It's true. Do Epic. I couldn't spell it out because I'm sorry. And my team knows this. Do Epic shit. I'm just going to say it. I'm 2 wines in. I'm just going to say it. Do Epic shit. Just do Epic shit. Epic isn't about monumental. Epic's about transformational. Let me tell you my story about this. When I started business, I was 16 years old. I barely graduated high school. Barely. I wasn't going to college. I didn't think my life had a lot ahead of me. It was just it. And now I stand today, I'm the CEO of Voodoo Doughnut. Now, title aside, that's some epic shit. That's some epic shit. Right? Epic doesn't have to be monumental. Epic doesn't have to be like, I saved the baby from the burning building. Epic for individuals is very different from person to person. You have clients you talk to, it's epic shit. But every time you talk to that customer, you're trying to do epic. I know, sorry, Michael. It's Thursday at 7 o'clock, I'm sorry. But every client you're working with, are you trying to do epic shit for them? Epic. Epic tells stories. Epic tells stories. Epic is a situation where someone tells somebody else about it. And it's different from person to person. Sometimes just flowers at the house when they moved in. Sometimes hand walking them through the process. Sometimes just calling them and going, congratulations. But for individual, it's different. You got to figure it out. Because epic shit tells stories. Right? The same doesn't tell stories. It just doesn't. Doesn't. So I know we heard about Simon Sinek earlier. I'm going to tell a quick story that I like. It's an old fable, and listen, you've probably heard it before. If I bastardize it, I'm sorry. It's my way I tell it. I'm sorry. But there's a story that goes, there's two guys that go out and they chop wood every day. Right? Let's call them Chris and Sean. Let's just make it up. Chris and Sean. And they go up every day and they go and chop wood every morning. And they start at exactly the same time and then end at exactly the same time. The difference is Chris takes a break in the middle of the day. And every day they count the wood at the end of the day, and every day they have exactly the same amount of wood. Every day. And one time Sean says to Chris, dude, what's going on? Like, we start at the same time, we end at the same time, but in the middle of the day you take some time off. But we end up with the same amount of wood, if not more. Why, Chris? How does that happen? What do you do? And Chris says, I go home and sharpen my axe. I sharpen my axe. Planning exceeds effort. Planning exceeds effort. Right? When's the last time you sharpened your axe in the middle of the day? We all want to work hard, so the more hours we put in, we think, well, that means we're being successful. Sharpen your damn axe. Don't compare yourself to somebody else. Like, what am I doing? Sharpen your axe. So I don't know how long that was. That was pretty quick. But I love this quote. Love this quote. Right? If you fall short of your big goal and consider yourself a failure, you don't have big enough goals. Holy cow, I was 16 as a dishwasher. They called me Carlos for 5 years. 5 years. And I was like, someday I'm going to be something. And I remember I met with this restaurant manager. His name was Jose. And I said, Jose, I want to be you. And he said, I'll never forget this. You don't want to be me. You want to be something bigger than me. And I remind myself that every morning. Like, what's next? I don't know. But I'm dreaming big. I'm dreaming big. So that's all I got for you. That's it.